All right, welcome back to the channel, boys and girls. Appreciate you for tuning in as always. So, to start things off, we've got the subject matter of just the absurdity of all this shit, man. Everything looks so suspect, dude. I mean, it is actually crazy. So, let's start off with, let's get this out of the way. Let's air this out. The fact that Republicans are now doxing the left for being pro-offing of a president, okay? And now the left is throwing a massive hissy fit that the right is doing so, okay? Now, if this this is where I think, man, the gloves are coming off, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think people are getting to that point where it's like, fuck it, dude. Fuck it. We've been the adults in the room for long enough, man. I guess if you guys want to keep fucking around, well, we're going to have to play the game then. But that also leads me to that if that's how we're acting now, and we're not taking the moral high ground, we are literally one step away from a civil war, okay? I'm telling you right now, if Trump was not in the picture and they pulled that off, man, I would be reevaluating everything that we're doing. I mean, like, there's a chance that I probably would have hit the bug out plan. You know what I'm saying? You know, depending on what I saw occurring and so on and so forth. Not saying like the event itself was like, oh, I'm out of here. But just, you know, like if that actually played out and I started seeing all of my indicators that tell me it's time to go, well then, we're making the move, right? So, yeah, man, it's not looking too good, right? So, now, moving forward onto the next subject. Now let's talk about just how obviously staged this whole ordeal is, right? I mean, the shooter was on top of the area where all of their comms people were monitoring everything. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious? Okay, all right, whatever. Well, then I've seen these overlays of the time of the speech with the other videos, right? Clearly looks like there was more than one shooter. Now, if I was in charge of said operation, what my thought process would be is that you're gonna have a sniper on the patsy always, man. That's how I think about it. And then from where the body was found, from the location of the snipers, they weren't able to hit that shot, man. So another shot came from somewhere, right? And took that dude out so he didn't talk, right? And we're getting into the weeds. I understand that, man. I understand that. But just a lot of this shit is never cut and dry like we expect it to be, okay? It is always like, let's look at the Kennedy assassination. Oh, the guy that usually sits on the rear of the car was told to be removed off that car so there was no protection on Kennedy so the shot could be taken, right? I mean, it's always shit like that where there's an exterior influence making this shit happen. Now, if you really want to get into the weeds on this shit, I'm not even gonna go there because like where my mind is leading me with this whole thing between Trump going and putting his hand on the Wailing Wall, J.D. Vance going and putting his hand on the Wailing Wall, and then they had some Jewish singers at the RNC. Then you're really getting into the weeds and you're like, well, let's look into who Larry Fink is from BlackRock, right? Who's that guy, man? He's totally Jewish, man. Right? The people who we think are the ones doing all of this, right, all have the same belief system. So it's very compelling. Then let's look into what Patton said when one of his most famous quotes is, we took out the wrong enemy, essentially boiled down. Can't remember the exact verbiage off the top of my head. I do these on the fly. Don't have it pulled up. But he said that. He said that. Right? What the fuck does that mean, Patton? How are you going to go out and we're just left up in the air, right? And dude, you know, like, we're spitballing here, dude. I'm not making any insinuation of anything. I'm providing you the facts on what I've seen, okay? That is for you to lead to your own decision, okay? Now, there's footage of looks to me like a third shooter or second shooter on top of the water tower, right? So, and then all these other reports of it coming from behind, which could be the reports of that could all be BS. You know how that is, man. Like, there's gunfire going on. These people aren't trained to know the direction of gunfire, right? Like, so they could just be misinterpreting that, right? So, but with that being said, man, it's this whole thing is just freaking ridiculous, dude. We'll never know who actually pulled this shit off. You know, then there's other end of things that, hey, man, what if this dude just pulled the shooting off? What if he just tried and a lone gunman actually was able to get past the Secret Service and local police officers, man? I don't think so, but, you know, I get from what fucking the big boys are saying that we're in these fucking tier 1 and tier 2 teams. They're saying, man, there's a lot of fucking chaos. Shit could happen, right? But then also you hear, like, the real, like, the tier 1 sniper assets saying, nah, there's no fucking way this actually happened without help, man. There's no way, right? So the whole thing is absolutely muddy as fuck. We'll never know the answer. And it's really a shame because, you know, it does lead me to believe that confusion is of the devil, man. Like, I really can't think of it any other way, man. It's just crazy, like, how convoluted everything always is, right? Oh yeah, let's look. That the shooter was in BlackRock's fucking films, right? What a perfect patsy. Or you know, they're getting up there and manipulating youth, as they all do. So it's just ridiculous, honestly. But yeah, man, I don't know. I just wanted to make a short video real quick. I'm waiting for my buddy to get loaded here. But yeah, man, whole deal stinks to high heaven. Kind of hard to say if the whole world's just not a stage and we're just along for the ride, and there really is no left and right. I mean, I'm holding out for, hopefully I'm wrong, but from what it looks like, I think they're all in on it, man. It's a big show. It's a big show, big club, and we're not in it, man. So I just wanted to bring this up to you guys' attention. Hey, man, if you want to like what we're doing here, hit me with a like, share, subscribe, and I appreciate you for tuning in later on, man.